Welcome back to Bassy Mike 84, guys. Today we're gonna make 4 jigs that every fisherman should have in their tackle box: a swim jig, an ARKY head jig, a football head jig, and a brush jig. I'm gonna teach you guys how to build your own jigs, so it should be a good one. Stay tuned for that. So next part, we got the jigs ready. As you can see how they look without the skirt, without the weed guard. This is the brush jig. It's an ARKY head jig, one of my favorite. You choose. We're going to choose our weed guards. Like, it's gonna go like that. Once you push it all the way in and you put glue on it, let's do this one. I'll show you guys one. Grab the weed guard, you put the glue in there, you push it all the way in. Now we're gonna sit there and let it dry. Let's try and do this one too. I'm kind of feeling like the brown one. And just push it all the way in. And that's how it's gonna look. Just gotta make sure it's all the way in, so the glue can hold it in. And that's it. So let's move to the skirt making process part. Before making your jig or putting your skirt, make sure to always have your skirt tool. This is gonna help you grab the skirts and pull them up to length. Then after that, before that, this right here, this is where the skirt collar goes. You got one of your little skirt collars. And you just put it in like that. And just roll it down. Comes over here. Grab a little metal wire that's scooped. put a full tab of this, a half tab of this, another full tab of green pumpkin, another full tab, and then you're just gonna pull them up. And then you're just gonna roll it down. I like to make mine a little bit longer on one side. The long side always goes down first, then you grab your jig. And you push it down over the skirt. The skirt collar has to come up here. This is my take on a craw. This is what I use during springtime. So let me get the scissors. I'll be right back. I'm back, guys. Now we cut all the tabs off. Grab your scissors. Make sure you cut all of them. Personally, I like to cut them a little bit. So now you have a jig, a football head jig that nobody has, nobody's throwing. This is the reason I like making my own jigs at home. And like I said, football head, it's a very versatile jig. For me, I like crawling a football head jig where there's rocks, sand, mud, because that's where all the crawdads be hiding at. So look at that. Next up, the ARKY Head Jig. I'll come right back. Alright, you got the ARKY Head Jig. I made the skirt. I like this skirt because you can use this when it's clear water. Doesn't have to be dirty. You could throw the ARKY Head Jig. You could flip it under docks, lay downs, anything. So let's put the skirt on there. Always cut your tabs. There you go. Another jig. Another jig that probably the fish ain't never seen, because you're making them at home. But look at the colors. And always try to cut it. There we go. Missed a couple down here. So now you have a perfectly good flipping jig or ARKY Head Jig. I like to put a crawl on here and just throw it between grass, under docks, or when I go with people. But other than that, I like to throw this anywhere really. This skirt right here, I call it a blue craw. Pair on the ARKY Head, that you can throw this jig and anywhere there's brush, because as this jig comes up, it kind of goes, if you bring it in slow, it'll go over the brush like this, so you won't get hung up now unless you're going too fast. But I like it. I have never got hung up yet on one of them. But you will lose a lot of them, no matter the fishing situation. And I love using jigs because jigs always catch the biggest bass, the biggest fish out there. I missed one. See how it looks? It looks perfect. It looks kind of like a bluish tint to it, bluish craw. But I like cutting all of them down here. Make it a little smaller presentation for them, so the fish can think it's an easy meal. Yeah, and you could play around with the skirt. You can move it around how you want it. If you want the bluish, more bluish on the back, the greenish on the front, it's totally up to you. that. Beautiful jig. And another jig that I think is very good is a swim jig. It's kind of like a bluegill pattern. So let's start cutting these tabs. And we'll talk a little bit about each jig. Why is it important for you to fish these 4 types of jigs? Why is it important for you to have these 4 jigs? I really think these 4 jigs are basically the main ones. You could go anywhere in the country and fish with them, and you're gonna catch fish with them. Anywhere you have craws, forage, as long as they have the same forage, these colors should work pretty much anywhere. And this is the swim jig. To me, a swim jig is very important when there's lakes that have a lot of grass. You could throw the swim jig through the grass. You're not gonna get hung up. You got your good durable weed guard. You're gonna throw it in there. Put a nice trailer. It could be a craw. It could be a Rage Menace. Whatever is your preference. To me, I like using a Rage Menace. I put it on here sideways. So instead of kicking like this, it kicks sideways. To me, it's kind of like a dying bait fish. So they automatically, almost every single time they hit it. So that's why I use a lot of swim jigs. Swim jig is that I think it should always be on your tackle box. It's a brush jig. Brush jig, you can throw it between brush, laydowns. You can even throw it under docks. You can throw it in between trees. Anywhere that's heavy cover, this jig is gonna come very handy for you. And ARKY Head Jig, I like this because you can flip them under docks, flip them into pilings, flip them into rocks. And this is another jig that it should always be in your tackle box. You should never leave your house without an ARKY Head Jig. And a football head jig, it's a jig that you could crawl it, throw it out, crawl it where there's rocks, sand, gravel, mud, because a lot of the crawls like to hide in there, and that's where the fish is mostly roaming around to try to find them. So these are the 4 type of jigs that I never leave my house without them. I always have multiples of these jigs in multiple different colors, because you never know what the fish is really going to want to eat. But these 4 colors, I'm 100% sure that you could fish with these 4 colors anywhere in the country. So hopefully you guys like today's little tutorial. So jig making, and I'm obsessed with jigs. Hopefully you guys like today's episode. Remember, we on the road to hit 100 subscribers. When I hit the 100 subscribers, I mean, I'm gonna do a giveaway. So let's try to fill the 100 subscriber bar right here. So as always, guys, comment, subscribe, share, turn on your notification bell so you won't never miss another upload from me. And have a good day.